Welcome, Star Wars fans all across the galaxy. This is Uneducated Star Wars Talk. I'm your host, Chris Lambert, and thanks for making me a part of your day. Now, today, Battlefront 2 prequel novel come out entitled Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad, and I'm a little ways through it since it came out on Audible a couple hours ago, and I've been able to read it. I mean, not read it, but listen to it, and I like it so far. I don't feel like it's one of the best books out right now, but I am enjoying it. It's a fun story, and I get backstory to a character I'm really intrigued to, so that's always fun. But since we talking about novels, I figured today I'll just give y'all my top five novels in Star Wars right now. Now I'm only gonna have a all that's gonna be on my list is the one stories that's canon. Like I think Darth Plagueis, if it was considered canon, I would have put it in my top five because it's one of my favorite books, and I wish that book kind of would be canon because it don't have really no big implements on the story besides him possibly making Anakin. But that's a story for another day. But at number five, I got the third book in the Aftermath series entitled Empire's End. And I love this book because any book in anything really in that era between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens is really intriguing to me because we haven't got really nothing too much in that timeline besides a couple books and comics, but it's no really big juicy stuff. But this one, it was pretty juicy. I really like the characters in the books. It's really a lot of them. That was one problem I had with the book. It's a lot of characters to keep up with, especially on the good side. You got that bounty hunter, the really the macho man. I can't really forget remember his name, but I remember Jazz the bounty hunter, Nora Wexley and her son, and the droid. I liked the droid Bones, but the character that most interested me was Gallius Rex, and for a while we speculated would he be I'm sorry, Snoke, and that seemed very plausible until some other books came out along the line, and so that kind of put an end to that. But his character was intriguing. He was like really the guy in charge of the Empire behind the scenes, and that was intriguing to me because I'm a not big Empire guy, but I'm interested in the Empire, if you say. That's why a lot of these books, you'll see that in this list of books. But on to number four, I got Lords of the Sith. And I love this book because we get my favorite character in Star Wars is Palpatine. And I get nothing but Palpatine in this book, him and Vader, and how you get to see him toying with Vader and not toying with Vader, but just trying to see what Vader mind at. And just you get Palpatine at his best in this book. And I just love this book because of that. Because Palpatine, my favorite on-screen character in Star Wars. But my only big problem with the book is I think I just wanted more from the side story, which was Cham Syndulla trying to set up to get Darth Vader and the Emperor killed. I really kind of wanted more of that. Really not more, but more. Maybe they done a little bit better because it had my attention, but it didn't stick with me. And that was really it about that. But at number three, I got Thrawn, and Thrawn is actually probably my favorite character. It's debatable between him and Palpatine. I don't know what they say about me that my favorite two characters are bad guys, but Thrawn, I really like how strategical he is, and in his book, you got to see that. You got to see his rise through the Empire. You got to see basically the racism in effect in the Empire because they don't really care for aliens, and you got this alien that really the Emperor's favoring because he's so smart and such a tactical guy when it comes to war, and he knows some stuff about the outer regions where the Empire hasn't been. So he's Palpatine's not pet, but Palpatine has a fancy with him, and the other Imperial guys don't really like that. So you got to see all that. Even with his aide Eli Vanto in the story, he's like from Wild Space, and he just talks country as hell. Country as hell in our universe is kind of country, and they look down upon him too. Like he don't get promoted for a while in the book, and it's because of that basically. But I really like Thrawn. Once again, like I said, favorite character. So, and really, the book, it could have got done a little better because I was expecting a little bit more. And Thrawn's kind of been underwhelming in Rebels, but I still love him. Still love him. Maybe for what he is, or what he's supposed to be. But At number two, I got Lost Stars, and this was probably my first book when I jumped into the new novels, and boy, did it not disappoint. It's basically a Romeo and Juliet story between taking part between all of the original trilogy and some of the Battle of Jakku, which it was like a couple weeks after the battle in Return of the Jedi. So it's a great book, and I'm not too big on love stories, but seeing them in every not every yeah I think it was basically every battle that we've seen in the movies through episodes 4 through 6. Like we the characters just so happily being, and that was one of my gripes with the book. It was like it seemed pretty convenient that that they was in every battle, but that's a nitpick. Besides that, this was a great book, and sometimes this might be my number one. But at my number one, I got Bloodline, the not Princess Leia, but General Leia book, and I love this book because, like I said earlier, it's one of them books that take place in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and it's the best written book. It just keep you in it, and basically everybody have a big gripe with the politics in Star Wars, and I agree with in I think episode one. I didn't really care for the politics, but in this book the politics are done so right. It's intriguing. You want to see what Leia get through, and it's a great book. My only big gripe with it was I kind of wanted more of a tie-in with The Force Awakens with the book. It led to it, but not in the way I really wanted. I wanted more learning of the First Order, if you will. But that's my top five: Empires and Lords of the Sith, Thrawn, Lost Stars, and Bloodline. What's your top five? What's your list of? What's your favorite Star Wars books? Do you read the novels? Are you even intrigued by the novels? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.